Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is February 28th, 2026, the last day of the month. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope the day is treating you kindly. Got ourselves some sage here, cleaning out the energy. Apparently the world's at war, and I didn't even know that until this afternoon when I spoke to my father, because I don't watch television. So I really hope you're all doing well, wherever you're at. We've got the number message 222, which is harmony, balance, and alignment with life. Trust your intuition. You are on the right path. Trust divine timing, and everything is going well. This message won't be for everybody. If it's for you, you will know. These masculines are talking about a challenger. A challenger. Somebody survived their brutality and is now challenging them, I suppose, because they didn't just roll over and die. Someone is asking the curator if she's innocent. So it's a female challenging them and their authority, apparently. And he's saying, yes, she's innocent and she's sanctified, free from sin. So they want to do a sacrifice of this woman. They're talking about kidnapping her and then replacing her with a copycat. And they're talking about this copycat knowing business manager and other computer programs that this person uses on the regular. So they want to try to pull off an identity swap. They won't be able to pull it off, because whoever you are, you're the only one who does what you do where you are, and you handle the whole load. You handle the whole load. If somebody else comes in there and all of a sudden is just a stupid idiot, they're going to say, out of here, man. Because, you know, when you got a business that's relying on you to put the numbers and everything else to go, or whatever it is, to put together a project and bring it to a successful fruition, somebody who hasn't got the 40 years of experience or whatever it is that you have is not going to be able to pull it off. It's just going to be ridiculous. Besides that, they're not going to obtain your energy or your presence or you, period, and they won't survive trying. So they're trying to convince everybody that they can harvest her because of their toxins they keep calling medicine. He's trying to strip this high-ranking woman that they themselves cannot conquer. They will never qualify for this woman's ranking as a single person, and as a collective masculine group. They have hit this woman hard, and they have complained that she comes back harder. And they're trying to convince the upper authorities that she's too powerful for her own good. They insist it must be a man, a religious man, in the position that she has been granted by the Most High God as Rainbow Covenant holder. These men have been prostituting the mothers and the children throughout the universe, and God does not want that to happen anymore. So he has gifted this authority to the mother. And you've got a whole bunch of men out there who want to tear her down. And you've got a whole bunch of divine masculines out there who are slapping them down, saying, thou shalt not touch. So that seems to be what's happening now. And I'm trying not to get involved in what the world sees, because I'm busy paying attention to what Spirit sees. One masculine is saying that he likes this woman, and the curator is saying that she is the magistrate. So they're wanting to harvest her. They want to swap identities. They want to claim this authority. It requires a contract, a relationship, a partnership, a friendship, an entanglement of energy. One female has stated that all it really takes is a verbal exchange in order to transfer these things. So be very careful of who you're speaking to and how much you say about anything. They want this entanglement to command your authority. They need it to gain access to the high level dimension and home of this universal gatekeeper. They lost connection to her consciousness and to these upper dimensional Star Nations soul tribes. And they want to unalive her and replace her with a copycat again. Then command the Universal Gate and keep everybody of these upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribes out once more. They've lost this position, and they need to get out of the home of the mothers and their children. And you know, God has plans for the masculines. That's their own thing. I'm not going to get into their personal stuff, but God has a solution for the atrocity that's been happening here to them as well. And that's just not my space to talk about right now. It's not my, I don't feel like I have the authority to talk about the wounding of the masculine. Because it's great, I know that. So they want to replace her with a copycat, and none of these masculines are trustworthy. They are out for harvest and looking for a prize that they have not qualified for. They need a religious man in this position because religion is their slavery system. This is how these men gather authority. It's not because they've earned it. It's not because they're capable of managing themselves and the communities well. It's because they're pirate thieves. Using SEX, reckless SEX, the RAPing, the marriage contracts to gain the entanglement with another who has the wealth and the status. This realm is full of vile pretenders, pirates, RAPists, and thieves. Another masculine asked the curator, "Now can you?" So it sounds like his privileges are falling away, or his abilities. He's unable to do something that he once was able to do. And it sounded like a female talking about a heartbeat. Now can you? I don't know. Are they losing their heartbeat? Because they're animated corpses, right? They don't actually have the rainbow chakra system. What is God doing? Is he like just... That's weird, okay? Now can you? And somebody's talking about a heartbeat. Did somebody OD? Did somebody have a problem? Was somebody trying CPR? They're not able to get the heartbeat. They can't hear the heartbeat. Somebody got unalived. A masculine told the curator that they treated her like a prostitute, and she's no longer serving them. She's not going to pour life into them. She won't energize them. She's not going to enliven them anymore. This one person, this whole tribe of families and all their bros and hoes were getting down with this magistrate's energy, this eternal life energy. It's like they were pulling everything and sticking her so very deep into the hell realm of suffering. It was incredible what they've been doing to the Divine Mother in this flowing in all aspects here as the woman. A few moments later, I heard the curator telling somebody else that she needs medicine. So the curator was told that they treated her like a prostitute and that she is no longer going to serve them. And then he's sneakily speaking softly to his little army over there that she needs her medicine, and he feels that this gives them the right and the privilege to harvest this upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe's daughters' soul and spiritual value and all of those gifts that belong to that family. Just because he poisoned the flesh temple does not give him a right to harvest the life of a spirit and soul belonging to an upper dimensional high-ranking family. It's ridiculous, this stupid illusional trap that they've been operating under, and all of this medicine, all of the elements that are used to create that belong to the Planetary Earth Mother. It belongs to the Mother Earth. So this is crazy that they think that this gives them some sort of a privilege. Unless there's graphene or some kind of a nanobot or magic. There's some kind of a magic on there. Binding. I don't know. Whatever that is. They're like these, they're desperate, they need to feed, they're losing power, they've lost connection to these upper spaces, they no longer have connection to these upper dimensional wisdoms, this knowledge, but they can't stop. They need energy. So they're addicted to the energy of those that they've been feeding on, those that they've been consuming. So it's like this curator can't get along in the world on his own laurels. He's got to siphon the life out of others because he's a loser, a total effing loss. There's no value in him. There's really no purpose. These guys are just here feeding, and assuming the identity and the role and the authority of those who actually have authority. With their brutality, their bombs, their big man suit, and their powerful, ability to overcome, those less powerful physically. But God said that this was the end of their relationship with batteries, and that they're no longer going to use or feed on this family. This magistrate has been emancipated, yet they still threaten to unalive her, to torture her. He and his are lovers, and may they all just go into the fire. Losers, excuse me, I guess. Maybe they are lovers. But because they are needy, greedy, and ruthless, RAPist, brutalizer fools, they have no morals, no laurels, no ethics, no collaboration. Because collaboration for them is competition. Collaboration for them is to see who can outdo one another. It's not a team effort to co-create. It's just to come in and to see who's greater than, right? They make collaboration a competition. And it's a pirate, so they also steal. When they were given the opportunity to collaborate, they decided to make it a competition. They are not partners or lovers or friends. They're not men. They appear to be entities using the masculine flesh suit, and the feminines for some of them too, as avatars. It's kind of strange. They're not leaders, they're not guides, they're not guardians, and they don't seem to be anything that humanity really needs in their life. These masculines use the power of the mother to destroy. They use her creatress essence to destroy what she births into the world. These men are not in alignment with the Father Creator. They aren't healthy for the planet. They certainly aren't protectors of children. Instead, they seem to be allowing and profiting off of the children's enslavement and suffering. These entities have nothing. They take from others, and then they say that the ones they stole from are nothing. They swap places in every single way. These are the daughters of Eden. This was once Eden, and they turned it around, flipped it around, and they turned it into a brothel and a slaughterhouse, and this horrible thing where those who carry the golden light within them, the rainbow chakra system, have been flipped, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff happening right now. They're pirate illusionists, sorcerers, magicians. These are the devils that got brought up out of the hell realm when they put an earth angel into it. They present themselves as leaders, guardians, and guides to the public. They wear a mask and smile in the face of the populace. They're out there trying to guerrilla their way through God's forest of souls. One masculine asked the curator, "She's a Leo?" And he says, "Yeah, she's a Leo." So they say that it needs to be a Zodiac match in order to properly transfer the identity and soul value and all authority into themselves. So he wants to find a Leo masculine to transfer this magistrate's soul value, covenants, authority into, because they're told that she's no longer serving them, and they need a religious male Leo that they can transfer this magistrate's soul value and identity into. They want to get rid of her personality, like put her into some fire or whatever, and then just extract out of her the value of the soul and of the families that she's connected to. They want to steal the wealth from the family trees, the families that have been united, the lion and the jaguar. They want to steal this wealth of this magistrate out of those family trees, and they are very high upper dimensional beings. These are soprano beings, or she is, and these others are also. And these nasties have they had her as a prisoner of war, and they were using her vessel and her consciousness as a bridge and a connector into these upper supreme spaces, and they were feeding on people up there. So they have to try to get a connection with this female so that they can claim her wealth, wear her identity once more. The destiny swapper, the lazy, no good for nothing, loafer thief, a waste of space. They're no good for nobody. If they take over this authority, obviously they're not here to provide charity to anybody. You know, they cannot become just like this person that they're trying to harvest, because they don't have the same mentality, the same soul structure, or the same moral and ethical value system. So now that the luminaries have been re-established, these nasties need to reconnect for harvest. And it's gross to think about even having a sexual or any kind of an entanglement with them at all. They are waging war against this person's tribe and the tribe that they have wed into. They're talking about home invasion, and they're talking about these programs. So they're making it very personal. Whoever uses business manager out there could be a very target if they're a Leo, female. They tried to tell the mothers that they were nothing when they built their whole foundation on her energy and spiritual gifts. They've lost connection, and they're getting desperate to do a terrible 3D destruction. The curator was talking about a destination. He's talking about an appetizer. He wants to beam me up, Scotty, this woman or women, to certain destinations, and then they want to do this soul transfer and harvest. They want to punish, torture, prostitute the personality of the soul that they're wanting to harvest. So they want their devil god to consume her soul. Somebody said something is appalling, which is causing shock or dismay, horrific, very bad and awful. They are talking about the breakup spells. Oh my. They've been doing a lot of them. Those are all going back on them. They are going to be alone for a very long time. These ones are talking about a schizophrenic and a prostitute. They were running insanity through the minds of people, and then they were driving them into this lifestyle. And then they were scoffing and saying that that is who they were, and that was a big lie. And it could be that that which they claimed they were is going to become their life. They must go through the experience now and gain an understanding of what exactly it was they were doing to somebody. It's like they ran a program, yes, of schizophrenia through the divine being's transmitter-receiver, a delicate, sensitive instrument of the Most High. We're meant to receive divine upper wisdom and then manifest it here in the realm, but we got pirates here that have been separating the crown from the root and destabilizing the middle ground and then feeding on everybody. They've been trying to take over this middle ground. They've been brutalizing and defiling purity and then sending it to the underworld for judgment, and then they've been getting punished because they've transferred all of their sin and nastiness into this purity. And now that reality is known, it's seen, the truth of it. There's some transfers going on. It's like those that have been in the upper realms are identified, and that they are being traded for those who were sent there deceitfully. That was my intuition regarding that vision or thought. They prostituted their energy, and also physically. They could have done it in the spirit with your spirit self, your dream self. They could have really been ripping on you over there. They wanted divine masculines to steer real clear of the divine feminines. So they were broadcasting this stuff out there, this nastiness that they were doing to us. And I don't know when it was happening, because I've been alone for a long time. So they could have been doing it in the spirit or in the dream space. I don't know how it's been going this particular lifetime. For centuries, the divine feminines were seen as unworthy, undesirable, and rejected, thrown into the fire, recycled many times because of the insanity that these ones were running through them, because of the anger, the rage, the betrayal, the hurt, man, from this infidelity. Somebody mentioned SARS, and at first I thought it was that, I thought SARS was that blood thing that like is really bad. A lot of people don't survive it. But then I Googled it, and apparently it's a severe acute respiratory syndrome, a serious, sometimes fatal viral respiratory illness caused by that C virus. So anyway, somebody is saying that she humiliated them, or that they are feeling humiliated. It appears there is some big army guys or whatever talking to the curator, who appears to be a commander of armies, and they're trying to talk to him about what she has discovered here. But the curator is assuring him that she needs medicine and they have the right to harvest her. And once they get a hold of this power, they can do all kinds of crazy stuff. And so they're really thinking that it's worth the effort and the risk to drag all of these powerful entities into war with the lion and the jaguar to try to take this woman out of their united families, their united tribes. They don't have any authority over this woman, and they certainly don't have any privileges. They are pirates, red rummers, RAPs, thieves. They have no rights with this woman's essence or authority. She's no longer serving them, and they want to kidnap her and force her to serve them like they did last time. They forced her. They did something. Somebody her protector got distracted. She got kidnapped and then unalived in a most brutal and horrific way. And it's been that way lifetime after lifetime. But this time there's a new opportunity for a different outcome. They appear to be wanting to come forward to attack and attempt harvest of this lion and jaguar tribe. This lion, or daughter of the lion, they're going after. This magistrate, this universal gatekeeper. She's a soprano. She's super high frequency. None of these guys, none of these collective covens could beat her in a fight. She even wrestled, I guess, with a sumo wrestler. They thought they were really going to get one over on her. They were laughing and joking, real pleased with themselves. You have no idea what's going to happen to you when you go to Japan. And they thought it was real great. But apparently she kicked their butt. So whatever, I don't know. Somebody is questioning whether she's human. They see original humans as collector's items. They have very close connection to the mother, father, creators of all that is, and they want to harvest this. These guys they augmented themselves with AI, and they did some weird stuff, and now they're out there trying to harvest energy out of everything. These masculines are proclaiming, it's the energy. It's the energy. And if we transfer her, they want this woman's energy. They're drooling and frothing at the mouth over the idea of recapturing this woman and this energy and these powers. That's the message, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.